your transformation taking too long, and it is absolutely nothing to do with how hard you're trying. In fact, trying harder is exactly what's slowing it down. If you've been stuck in frustration yo-yo effect, feeling elevated one week, spiraling back into victimhood or attack mode the next, I am going to map out the exact stages of transformation from point A to point Z. And by the end of this video, your mind will finally understand the trap, because when the mind understands, the mind transforms. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And today we're discussing the real reason why transformation taking so long. And we know that sometimes when talking about transformation, some people say it takes lifetimes, and it takes decades, and it takes enormous amount of dedication. So what is the real reason why transformation takes so long? What's really happening behind the scenes? Why do we need to prolong that stage of well-being and peace and tranquility? Why is it such trial and error? What makes it that way? So let's look at the stages of transformation and how do we get from point A to point Z. This is something that I've been exploring probably most of my life. What is transformation? Where some people have higher consciousness, meaning they're taking life easier, everything is okay, they're happier with the life circumstances. And some people take life circumstances in a more heavier way. It takes them longer to come in and come out of the situation. When we're talking about transformation, we have, or enlightenment or consciousness, whatever, you have this image of this Buddha being who's happy, who's smiling, who's like in peace with themselves. And then, of course, it makes you feel, I'm not there, but that's where I want to be. Transformation usually starts through suffering, because you make a decision, I don't want to suffer anymore, prolonged suffering, life circumstances happening, you're torturing yourself, you have stories about the life circumstances, you have self-pity, you start describing it, and then at some point the body gets into a very tense stage because you've been feeding it stories to a point where you cannot take it anymore. So you either asking for help, or sometimes through this, it happens several times when people have shared with this intense suffering, something pops and there is a moment of, why am I choosing that? And the mind just immediately starts cooperating with consciousness and with presence. I haven't had this experience. For me, it was a harder trip. It was a longer trip. It took time, effort, practice to understand how is my mind working. So when we are coming into this transformation, and now we understand there is another way, because you look at other people, some are happy, some are dealing with same life circumstances that you have dealt with in a completely different way. For them, maybe COVID is the best thing that happened, and for somebody else, it's the worst thing that ever happened. Somebody might go through an illness and say, it taught me so much. Now I am a better person. I take care of myself so much better. And somebody went through an illness and said, why did it happen to me? I didn't deserve it. And just calling in the next step of deterioration. So you can see, why is the mind wired in one place to evolve and transform, and other places to decay, creating negative circumstances for yourself. In both cases, it is the mind. So why transformation takes so long? Let's see, those who I've worked with, you already know that you took your life apart in the 10 sessions intensive. You kind of understand what are your beliefs, what are your traps, why is the mind going to certain triggers, why is the mind acting certain ways. You already know yourself a little bit better because you had the 10 weeks intensive. The rest is keeping your hand on the pulse and watching it not to spiral back. What happens, what I found the most common mistake people make in the transformational path is, once they understand how the mind works. So you understand, this is where I'm at, and this is what I need to take myself out of here. So It's meditation, affirmation, giving yourself more love, accepting, forgiving, whatever there is. You got yourself to this elevated place and you feel better. Now, what does the mind does? Oh, I feel better. That's great. It's so good. You create a story around it. I want to stay here forever. You're starting to hold on to this place of wonderful elevation, feel great. Life happens. Something triggers the old pattern. You're spiraling down. What happens? That's the point when you go backwards. That's the point when you start judging, criticizing, and now you're creating a gap. But I was there already. Why am I here? Why am I experiencing this again? That's where the yo-yo starts. And the mind, what does the mind does? The mind is fishing for stories all the time. The mind wants you to keep you active in the story, in the circumstances. There's the circumstances and the story that you create around it, good or bad. The mind does exactly what it's supposed to do. Let's see why it does it. We talked about the ego, and unfortunately, we don't fully understand, people don't fully understand what is an ego. An ego is not something that is bad. An ego, it's your character that was built up from your childhood, from your parents, from your environment, from your teachers, whoever built you up and made you a certain way. You were born and you were learning different reaction. How do I react here? How do I react here? Maybe I'm a victim, maybe I'm a warrior, maybe I'm a whiner, maybe I'm a healer. And you're creating all kinds of versions of yourself as you're growing up from a very young age. Your parents already shaping you with their words and their action. Your life is shaping you, all the life experiences that you've been through. This is a building up ego, your character. This is how I react here, and this is how I react there. Your reactions to life, the way you communicate, the way your nature becomes, right? That's is a forming ego. There's nothing wrong with that. At some point, you start to understand that the way I was built or the way I'm reacting is harming me, not helping me. But for many years, generation, lifetimes, we were programmed in certain way to react, certain way to certain circumstances. We were programmed to react. If somebody offends you, you either get upset or you offend them back. And in your mind, there's no other options. Either victimize or attack. That's maybe what you have saw, and that's maybe what you have know how to live with, right? On the path of transformation, there is an awakening point, and you're realizing, wait a minute, if I'm attacking, I'm hurting. If I'm victimizing, I'm hurting. So the consciousness witnessed the ego, witnessed your character, witnessed the pattern of your reaction, bringing it to your attention, telling you, listen, this is not working for you. It's hurting you. That's when the mind starts to cooperate with consciousness. It goes, oh. It can go into argument with consciousness. Oh, but you see, here's all the evidence. They said this, they said that, I should do this, I should do that. The mind can go into all the evidence and the proof why you should be behaving certain way, whether victimizing or attacking. But the consciousness says, look for another way. Maybe there is something else is there. The mind wants to learn. It wants to expand. It wants to explore. But the mind also wants to stay in an old pattern. It's scary for the mind to change this ego that's been built for so many years because you used to reacting in certain ways for a lifetime. And now consciousness comes in, drops a new penny and says, try that. There is the desire to try something new, and there is the fear, what I'm going to let go of all this guilt, victimhood, and attacking that I've been building up for so many years. Are you trying to tell me that I've been wrong all this time? But what actually creates the shift is the suffering. if you suffered enough and if you get the mind into a place, I don't care what's the outcome, I just want to try something new. That's when the brave moment happens. When you try something new and you start cooperating with consciousness. It's not through thinking. If you remember last session, we talked about the thinking and overthinking. So the mind, when it creates the story, it starts milking everything for thinking and overthinking, how to react, how not to react. If you catch yourself, I'm in that mind, ego, I'm going into old patterns. Now I'm kind of pulling my hand through the consciousness. And consciousness, this open space that just breathes and lives with you. Is there another way? And in that openness, things start to show up for you. Maybe I don't need to be victimizing, or maybe I don't need to be attacking. Maybe I just need to be accepting. In that accepting place, when it's not charged and not accepting what's going to happen next, things are actually happening, they're settling. So in our transformation, why things taking longer, it's because we're spiraling backwards to old patterns. And we dwell there a little bit longer than we should be. Maybe it's shorter than you did before, but it's still grabbing your attention. It's still, and it's normal, because if all your life, whether you're 20 or 80 or 100, you've been programmed, if you have done things certain ways and now you're completely introducing something new, it is normal to go backwards. It is normal to spiral down. If you catch the spiraling down, not with judgment, but with acceptance and love. Oh, I'm in my old pattern again. Interesting. What caught me there? Why was it so interesting for me to go and revisit this old pattern? Oh, I miss the victim in me. Or maybe I miss the attacker in me. Or maybe there's another part of me that I just needed to revisit through that story that mind have built. And the mind, it's a trained machine. You trained it for so many years to feel certain way. And now you say, transform now. I want peace. I want happiness. I want acceptance. I want all of that. It wants it too, but it's afraid. It's paranoid. It's paranoid of a new paradigm, of a new shift, of a new way of being. It's an interesting thing that the mind creates for itself. The mind took you to the transformation and showed you there's another way of being. Here, look at that. You don't have to suffer. It opened up that space so you can see there's another way of being. Whether you signed up for a course, whether you did therapy, whether you listen to somebody, you listen to that through your mind, through your senses. You heard it, you saw it, and something shifted in you. The mind created the shift. You got new information. It created that place where you could see things could be different. And at the same time, when it opens the space of transformation, it's still throwing you those little bites of previous conditions. Oh, you think you transformed? Look, you're still here. And now it has a new catch. Before you were just caught in the mind, just criticizing, just attacking, just victimizing, dwelling in it for longer. The mind still keeps you busy because now you have both sides where you can dwell. Oh, I feel so amazing. Life is so great. Life is wonderful. Circumstances coming in. Oh my God, I don't believe I spiraled down. In both, the mind is still active, and that's where your transformation putting brakes on, because you have expectation to where I should be, not where I'm at. And if you have expectation to where I should be, not where I'm at, that's where the mind gonna milk you. Milk your attention, milk your disappointment, milk your frustration, and keeping you in that little shell that you have built yourself with your own mind. The speed of transformation, right? We want to be there. It's like same thing as if you have tried something delicious of ice cream for the first time, right? And you just had a bit of ice cream, and imagine the ice cream is your transformation, and you're like, this is so good. It's cooling, it's pleasant, it's sweet, it's all the taste is just exploding in your mouth, right? It's delicious. And then you want more of it and more of it and more of it, right? And then you might taste something completely different than ice cream. And it's like, I want more of that. So imagine life is like that. How do you trick the mind from not spiraling you down? Because the mind knows if you're going to go positive here, negative here, what are you creating? A gap, a beautiful stretch for story creation. I can fantasize here, I can criticize here. Wonderful, I'm active. Transformation becoming an illusion. It's not real because you're either fantasizing or criticizing. And the mind's having a party, it's enjoying itself. That's where the transformation slows down. So the question is, what is a real transformation? What does it really mean to transform? Transformation, no enlightenment being that I heard or listened or explored or studied have said that there's no more mind. Well, people say there's no more mind, but there's no more engagement with the mind. The mind is there. You can see both sides of you. You can see the side of you that is silent and observant, this genius you that is quiet and watching. And you can see the mind and its attachment to the story, to the circumstances. You create space for both. You're not chasing one or running away from the other. Both have a place, but can you be with both without the story? The story creation, that's where you're putting brakes on your transformation. It's when you have a story regarding everything and anything. It can be as small as, oh my God, I forgot to pay my bills. Why am I forgetting to pay my bills? I should be paying my bills on time, blah, 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 blah. Excellent. Mind got you hooked. Story created. Transformation breaks on. Oh, I forgot to pay my bill. Okay, I'll pay it later. The mind goes blah, 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 blah. You're paying attention. Oh, the mind creating a story. Wonderful. I'll pay my bill soon. See the difference? You're not fighting with the mind. Oh, how come you telling me stories again? Please don't tell stories anymore. I'm going to avoid it. There is a moment where you do need to do something when the mind is so active, and if it's too much, too loud, where it's affecting you, when you're affected by that, that's not a time where you can sit in meditation and witness. It depends what stages are you with the relationship with your mind. There is places where you need to do some very deep work around your stories. We need to understand your stories, transform them, know what you have learned through the stories. That's not the place to observe the mind. This is learning life circumstances. Why did life been created the way it was for me? What have I learned from that? How did I transform? This is therapy one-on-one. The next stage is once you have resolved your stories, now you're learning to calm your nervous system. That's where the meditation comes. That's when the affirmation coming in. This is the next step of just calming, retraining the mind. It's putting the training wheels on mind. When it's racing or when it's distracting, you're teaching your mind to be more contained. You're giving it some kind of structure. The next stage is you getting familiarize yourself with different stages of your transformation. See, or you can be in this tranquility, in this peace, in this everything is okay right now. But sometimes the mind takes you back. That's the stage that I'm talking about. You are just a few steps away. But that can take a long time because it can grab you back and keep you back, and then you get disappointed. You say, oh, I don't believe I did all this work and I'm still there. I don't believe it. How come it's taking me such a long time? It's not working for me. Here I am again. And that's asking you of acceptance. This asking you, can you just witness the situation without the story? That practicing of witnessing, it's in every stage and every step of your life, no matter what you do. whether it's health condition and you've been diagnosed with something and you have real physical evidence of something, right? And that's the mind's favorite play. Because here it can just, you have physical evidence that's your results weren't what you were expecting. And now paranoia, fear, anger, frustration comes in. But I'm sure you're not hearing it for the first time when people transformed their health conditions only through their mind, only through positive thinking, through relaxing, through allowing, through being. It's already happened so many times before where miracles took place. They call them miracles, but are they really miracles? If the mind is active and frustrated, it will create stagnation in your body. Yeah, something will go off. I haven't had one person yet that I worked with, and every health condition was linked to a story that happened just before that. And then the body just went into contraction, boom, and here we go. Now we have physical evidence, and parts of body just not cooperating because they're stagnant, because you're stagnant, because the mind is in its alarm system. There's alarm system on in your whole body. So you can see how powerful this mind is. Relationship goes not the way you have wanted. Maybe somebody passed away, maybe there's a breakup, maybe you're in toxic relationship, anything that can happen there, right? And the mind will create more and more stories, and it's going to be most of it about the other person. How right, how wrong they are, what they should, what they shouldn't, or you're going to go, what's wrong with me, nobody loves me. That's also a story. And you're creating stories on top of stories on top of stories. But if you practice in any situation, when I also work with so many of you through relationships, and when you work through this self-love and self-respect, everything changes. Nobody gonna treat you like crap if you love and respect yourself, honestly. And it's never about the other person. But in your mind, it creates a story that yes, it is. Finances, career. I work also with many of you that have been stuck at work and not progressing because you did not value yourself. You did not value your skills. And if you were not valued or not appreciating yourself, what you bring to your work environment will not value and appreciate you. And there are so many promotions and partnership offers and so many things that people have achieved just through relaxing the story that they created in their minds regarding health, finances, relationship. You create a story. So why transformation takes so long? Because you're stuck in the story. And the story, most of it, is just an old trigger from your childhood. When you wanted to finally to go away. I don't want it anymore. That's it, I'm done. And yes, and it happens after therapy, after work that you have done. Yes, a lot of the issues dissolve, but sometimes they show up. Why? Because it's your character. That's how you were built from the beginning. How to be with it, how to be gentle with it, how not to create more stories around the story. Any questions?
Just want to say about going back about the suffering. Sometimes it almost feels, even though it hurts, it feels comfortable.
Right,
I don't know how to say that.
right.
And past maybe even people or situations that you encounter years later can kind of trigger that spiral sometimes. But I like how you're talking about keeping focused on what you're feeling, being the witness to yourself. So helpful.
And you nailed it, the comfort of suffering, right? Because it's been practiced for such a long time, for many generation. I mean, it's so new for us. Suffering is a choice. Health is a choice. Love is a choice. Abundance is a choice. It is so new to us. It's landing on us through everywhere. Oh, I have a choice. I don't need to be miserable. There's another way. But because so much of us are still in it, it's hard to get yourself out of it because you see the evidence around it. But the suffering really need to weight itself down, really be heavy to give you this wake-up call of saying, I can't take it anymore. I need to find another way. That's when the responsibility, accountability, happening. You're no longer a victim, no longer looking for proof. Why should I stay miserable? And yes, since we were miserable and we were in survival mode forever, it's a nice place to go and revisit. Really nice.
Could I add that also there's a discipline at the beginning of the transformational journey that it's almost like a challenge to oneself. I know I'm just thinking about as I was entering into transformation, it was challenging myself of letting go, even for a day, and not be sort of, I don't know, superstitious or going back, but trying something new. But it definitely is a discipline.
Yeah. And letting go of what? What was the hardest part? Letting go of what?
Oh, letting go of old patterns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's scary because you practiced them for such a long time and it
Mm-hmm.
worked.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's if I'll do that and that, I know what's going to be the result of that.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's going to hurt me, I know the result. Now you're trying something new and I don't know the result. I don't know. Maybe I should be doing something here, but what? I don't know.
Well,
Right?
there's an exciting curiosity, but in the same time, it's that being neutral, not to have huge expectations and not to expect huge failures.
Yeah. And one of the things what you can do when the mind spirals down and you catch yourself, if you did not catch yourself and you are in a big spiral, then do whatever you need to do to help yourself out. Walk, meditate, talk, watch something, whatever's there. But if you're already in the advanced stages of your transformation and you can see the mind, how it goes back and forth, you can start talking to it, to this process that takes you down and ask some honest questions. What am I really getting out of it? And in that spiraling down, there's always benefits. I don't need to make decisions. I don't need to do anything. I get to be the good one by being the miserable one. There's so many stories that the mind gonna create for you just to get you back into that sweet spot of not so happy and slightly miserable because we have experienced it for so many lifetimes. I hope you can see this very soft point, almost invisible, why transformation takes so long. It takes so long because you have expectation for it to go faster. You have an idea of what it should be or shouldn't be, and you have frustration towards yourself that you're not there yet. The idea of transformation or enlightenment, well, it's been here for thousands of years. We're talking about Buddha. Buddha just sat by the tree and then he started laughing and he understood everything and the mind just went into peace and bliss. So, can you be in this peace and bliss no matter what's happening in your life? Because Buddha continues sitting under the same tree doing the same thing. Nothing have changed around him except the mind that went into peace and bliss regarding any circumstances. Even if something happening in your life, certain circumstances showing up when there's a bit of stagnation and you know you're spiraling into a story, or you might, or you don't agree with the circumstances that happening for you, you can always ask, what is the benefit? Even if you get a traffic ticket, right? Quite uncomfortable moment, right? And then what is the benefit in it? Okay, maybe I should be driving a little bit slower and watch the signs or park somewhere else, whatever there is. Okay, I learned. Okay, thank you. I should be paying more attention to that. What's the benefit in it? Even if you had an argument with someone or somebody spoke to you in the way that you really did not like, right? And the question is, what is the benefit in it? What am I getting out of here? Maybe I'm building a stronger skin. Maybe I get to watch my wounds that are still activated. Maybe I have an opportunity here to grow stronger. Maybe there's something that I still need to work through. That's why it came up. So if you look that you're benefiting from every circumstances in your life, there's no more bad or good. it dissolves because everything is a benefit, everything is working out for you. And you can see backward, probably most of the listeners had at least 20 years of life experience or more, right? So if you look at your life experiences, you can see that any circumstances that you have experienced that might have been not so pleasant at the time when you were living through them, later on as you pass through it, you look back and say, wow, I learned so much. It changed me, it evolved me, it transformed me. The speed of transformation, it really depends how present your consciousness is. And it's hard for us to be conscious all the time because we were in our mind most of the time. So you're telling the mind, all of a sudden, you're saying to the mind, just delete everything for your whole life, whatever you know, and now just be conscious. Even if you're going to impose transformation on the mind, it's going to be a bit stagnant and taking it slower, because going from point A to point Z in one step can be shocking. If you used to do things certain way, worry about things and control everything and plan everything or whatever you used to, and all of a sudden there is this opening, relax, be in the bliss, everything is perfect, that step from A to Z will shock your system because you're not used to it. It needs to take certain steps. And that's why often people say that on the transformational path, there can be madness because you went from point A to Z too fast. And the whole system just collapsed. It didn't have time to digest and rebalance itself. Often people take psychedelics for the transformation when the nervous system is still not ready. And yes, it can create a big mess for you. If your mind is not trained and not ready for a big step transformation, pushing it can really create stagnation. So don't rush your transformation. Enjoy it. You're evolving and changing in your own pace, in your own time, one step at a time. If you're going to overload, it's going to be a shock to the system. Imagine somebody who didn't meditate at all decides, tomorrow I'm going to start meditating 4 hours every day. What do you think is going to happen to the body? But if they work it through it and add every day 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, work it up, then the mind and the body have a time to adjust and to be in it. It's the same thing like going from meat eater to vegan in one day. What's going to happen? It's going to collapse the body. Same thing if you're vegan and start eating meat the next day, it's going to collapse your body. It's not used to. Same thing as we're going through mind to consciousness. It's not a one-day process. It's learning the patterns of the mind, learning when I'm conscious, when I'm in the mind. What is mind? What is consciousness? How do they talk between themselves? How do I become this one? In the end, you become one. There's no more mind. There's just witnessing, being, enjoying, and being with what is. Even if you throw a fit, even if something happens, there's no catches anymore. You can say, oh, okay, so yeah, that's upset me. Okay, so you're moving on. You're not stagnant in the story. I'm just human, but that takes time. So the real reason why transformation takes so long is the expectations of it to be faster and the avoidance of being with what is. Because when the mind brings you a story, instead of judging it and saying, oh, I don't believe I'm here again, I'm suffering again, why did it happen to me again? You ask yourself, why am I choosing it? Why am I choosing to suffer through here? What are the benefits in here? Don't need a pity party? Great, have one. Put an alarm clock and have a pity party. You need a few days of a pity party? Have a few days of a pity party. Call it mini vacation of misery. Indulge, but know when it starts and when it ends. So speeding your transformation can be dangerous. Going from point A to point Z in one step can be dangerous because the mind needs time to adjust and it needs time to rebirth itself. It's rebirthing a new identity, a new process. If you rush the labor, you're putting everybody in danger. It takes time to rebirth yourself, time to adjust to the new year. Those of you who have been on transformational path for a while, you can look back. Who was I when I started and who am I now? It's two different people. Have I changed? Yes. And then the mind goes, Oh, but you're not there yet. And that's when you say, how come I'm not yet there yet? You're not looking back and not saying, look how much work I already done. You're saying, I haven't reached that point yet. Therefore, I'm not doing right. Something is wrong with me. I'm not there yet. You see? And the mind says, great, I just got them hooked. We have a story. We can milk it out. We can have a bit of misery, a bit of frustration. Great, I'm doing my job. If your witness is present and active, you can see, oh, I'm in the story. What am I getting out of the story? I'm getting maybe revisit my parents who tell me, you're not there yet. I'm maybe getting to revisit some of my old wounds and patterns and self-criticism. I'm not there yet. That's a whole much more familiar and comfortable, feels like home than being comfortable in my skin, whether I'm there or not there. I'm still here. That's a new way of being. The mind gets bored with doing something for a prolonged time. And at the same time, the mind gets scared of the change. So, yes, it will continue dragging you back. But you can see on your path of transformation, you're not where you started. So, the mind did move along and did move you forward one step at a time. And the mind did support you with its fears and doubts so you don't move too fast. You see how valuable your mind is? There is this one foot on the gas, one foot on the brake, so you can have a safe ride from point A to point Z. I hope that answers a lot of the questions and settles some of your frustrations and some of your self-disappointments and some of your doubts. And if you're watching, please share something in a comment. What does it mean for you, your transformation? What does it mean to fast, to slow? Why do you think you're expecting something to happen at a certain time? Let me know. How is this path of transformation for you? How comfortable you're in it? Because there is a lot of frustration when you have an image of the Buddha and then you look in the mirror and say, really? Look where you are and look where I am. In the end, it always comes back to self-acceptance, self-worth, and just being through life in the pace that is right for you. Don't rush it, don't stop it, just one step at a time that you're comfortable in walking. Any other questions? Any feedbacks? Anything needs to be shared? What I gave you right now was just information. This is like cognitive information. I was talking to your mind. You received some, you didn't receive some. I always advise you to listen to my content more than once because the mind doesn't take everything in. It jumps through places. Some places where it's comfortable to take in, it digests, and then it blocks other places because you're not ready yet to receive it. So when you're listening to it again, it's already digested some information and it can take the next information next time when it's watching it. And that's why sometimes people say, oh, I listened to it so many times, I always learned something new. Because part of it been digested, part of it wasn't ready to digest. So next time you digest more. The next part is the meditation when we're not working with the mind, we're working with your consciousness. So this is the moment when we kind of giving you a space to just be conscious and present. That's why I honestly recommend for you to do this meditation several times. Again, for the same reason. Some of it, you'll take it right in. Some of it, you'll slip through it. Some of it will be foreign language. It takes time to digest information. When I studied Rudolf Steiner, it was probably 20 years ago or so, I couldn't take all of his information for years. It took me time to read it again and again and again, till at some point, some parts of my mind have opened up to understand it. At some point, it was just foreign language. I just could not accept it. So when we're talking language of the conscious, the mind often blocks it because you're just not ready. That's why you need to re-listen to things so the mind will open up and the information could pour in and digest itself. So if you need a break for bathroom, now it's a good time. Otherwise, stay with me and I'll just show you how to go through the meditation. We're going to go through two meditations. First meditation, going to be sitting up. And you need a place where you can be sitting up and lying down. Make sure you have a water next to you. Best way, it's a yoga mat for lying down. And nice to have support for your back, for your legs, a nice blanket. The temperature of the body is going to go down. The lying down meditation is going to be holotropic breath, where we're going to be talking more to your subconscious mind. If you want to, you can research more on holotropic breath or Stanislav Grof. It will give you more information, which I'm not going to go into now, just too much time. Okay, first, before we go into holotropic breath, we're going to go into seated meditation. Seated meditation, you'll be sitting comfortably, all fingers coming up together, turning your hands upside down and placing them all the way down into your lower belly, in between your thighs. This grounding you. This is a grounding meditation. And the breath is through your nose. You inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, belly expanding. 1, 2, 3. Exhaling, belly contracting. 1, 2, 3. Inhaling, belly expanding. 1, 2, 3. Exhaling, belly contracting. 1, 2, 3. Inhaling, belly expanding. 1, 2, 3. Exhaling, belly contracting. 1, 2, 3. The next meditation, after we finish, it's going to be guided. Both meditations going to be guided and supported through the whole time. Once we finish with the seated meditation, you're going to be going into lying down flat on your back. Do not lie down now. Just sit up and experiencing sitting up. But I will guide you later into lying down. Next meditation going to be when you're going to be flat on the floor, but do continue sitting up. It's going to be through your mouth. So your mouth is going to be slightly open and you're breathing into your heart, out of your mouth. Into your heart, out of your mouth. Right? So I'm inviting you to close your eyes, open your mouth slightly, and breathe into your heart, out of your mouth. The mouth is always open. Wonderful. Closing your mouth and coming back to today and now. You can already feel the difference between two breaths. One is more grounding and the other one really takes you into this consciousness state. Okay? So we're coming back to seated. Nice to have the feet on the floor. Back is straight or slightly supported, but try to be as grounded and present through that. Hands together, bringing it upside down. Anchor towards your lower belly, in between your thighs. Closing your eyes and just connect to your breath. Connect to today and now. And just breathing through your nose. Inhaling, belly expanding. Exhaling, belly contracting. Inhaling, belly expanding. Exhaling, belly contracting. Inhaling, expand. Exhaling, contract. And continue breathing in and breathing out. Keeping the rhythm of the breath, feeling your whole body. Feeling the surface that you're sitting on. Feeling the surface that's supporting you. Feeling the space that you're sitting in. Feeling the walls that around you. Now bring your attention to your physical body. and say, this is my physical body. Bring your attention to your emotional body. This is what I'm feeling. This is my emotional body. Bring your attention to your mental body. This is what I'm thinking. This is my mental body. Bring your attention to your memory body. This is who I am. This is what I remember about myself from the life that I've lived here on earth till now and after now. This is my memory body. Bring your attention to your higher self, to your consciousness, the God self, the witness. It's neither your memory, it's neither your thoughts, it's neither your feelings or your physical body. It's just a space of witnessing, inhaling and exhaling. And again, be aware of the witness within, be aware of the memory body, be aware of the mental body, be aware of the emotional body and the physical body. Inhaling and exhaling. Bring your attention to the top of your head. Relax the top of your head. Relax the back of your head. Relax the front, your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth. Relax your neck and your throat, your shoulders, your arms. Relax your chest and your belly, your spine and your back. Relax your hips, your thighs, your knees, your ankles, all the way down to your feet. Relax your whole body. Inhaling and exhaling. Bringing your attention to your tailbone and your crown. And imagine this pool of energy between your tailbone and your crown. Imagine there's a rod of energy between your tailbone and your crown. This rod of energy runs from your tailbone through your spine all the way to the top of your crown. Imagine this rod of energy has color, has frequency, has an existence. Now on an exhale, ground this rod of energy down into Mother Earth. And imagine you can connect this rod of energy with the center of Mother Earth. Now exhaling from your crown and extending this rod of energy up, up, up into the Father Sky, into the universe. And connect yourself all the way up and above. Now imagine yourself connected above and below. You're connected with Earth and universe. Again, bring your attention to your physical body, emotional body, mental body, memory body, and the higher self. And that rod of energy that holds all of them between Earth and universe. Now be aware of your consciousness and witness your memory body. Witness your life as it is right now. Allow yourself to revisit your life a year backwards and ask yourself, how did I transform from last year to this year? What have changed? What beliefs, what habits, what have changed from last year to this year? And you can imagine your last summer, last year. Imagine yourself in June, July, and just revisit this place. And who are you now? And what have changed? And whatever your age year, try to get yourself back 5 years from now, 5 years backwards. Look, who were you 5 years ago? And just revisit that place and see, who was I 5 years ago and how did I transform? Who was I 5 years ago and who am I now? And just allow yourself to see the person who you were 5 years ago and the person that you are now. Now, take yourself half a lifetime ago, whatever your age is, divide it in half. And remember, who were you half a lifetime ago? Maybe it's 10 years for you, maybe it's 30, 40 years for you, whatever it is. Who were you half a lifetime ago? Whatever your age, half of it. And just ask yourself, how did I transform? Who was I half lifetime ago? And who am I now? Witness and be present to all the transformations that have took place in your life since half lifetime ago. Who were you then and who are you now? Just acknowledge, just be. Now let's go backwards into your childhood. The child that came into this world, the programs that have been downloaded from parents, from society, from friends, from teachers, whatever shaped you, whatever made you. Watch how the personality was forming through life circumstances. Ask yourself, what was life teaching me back then? What have I learned? What was life is about back then through your childhood? How did my childhood shape me into who I am today now? How those parents that I was born through shaped me into who I am today and now? How the life circumstances of my birth and environment have shaped me into who I am today and now? What did I get out of it? This is what I was born into. And that's what it caused my transformation. That's what supported my growth. It's because of that I am who I am today now. Witness the transformation. Witness the shifts that you have made. Witness who you have become. Watch your whole life from conception to now and witness how you transformed each moment, each day, each year. Bring yourself to today now, to the age that you're in, and look forward. Look without imagining, just keeping a space open with curiosity, saying, wow, I have already changed so much. I'm so looking forward to see who am I going to be tomorrow. Who am I going to be next week? Who am I going to be next month? Who am I going to be next year? Who am I going to be in 10 years, 20, 30, 40, 60, 70, 80, 100 years? Who am I going to be? With curiosity. Because you never thought, if you look back, you never thought that's who you're going to be today and now, if you look back from the moment of your childhood. Life circumstances had to come and shape you and chisel you and make you into the person who you are, and you're still becoming. And there's more life circumstances that are going to continue shaping you, chiseling you, and making you into what you're becoming. Allow yourself a sense of curiosity and wonder and excitement. I'm looking forward to this becoming, of not knowing it. What is it? How is it? Because I'm becoming all the time. I'm changing, I'm evolving, I'm transforming all the time. There was never a beginning to it, and there's never end to it. It is always becoming. Transformation has no end. It has no beginning. It is always, always here, always now. Taking a deep breath, inhaling and exhaling. One more inhale. One more exhale. Another inhale. Another exhale. Very gently, in your own pace, move yourself to horizontal. We're going to move into the next stage of our meditation, into holotropic breath. And you can move yourself into the floor. Find yourself a lying down place on the floor, preferably. If that's not an option, a couch or a bed, any place where you can be horizontal, nice and cozy. Maybe a sip of water if you need to before you transform and move. And allow yourself to stretch down on your surface. Find your comfort again. Maybe a pillow under your legs, under your back. Covering yourself up. Get cozy. Get comfortable. Hands beside you. Legs are straight. And connecting to your breath as you're opening your mouth. And you're breathing into your heart, out of your mouth. Lying down on the floor, hands beside you, legs are straight or supported, and you're breathing into your heart, out of your mouth. Keeping your mouth open, into your heart, out of your mouth. Into your heart, out of your mouth. Into your heart, out of your mouth. As you're breathing into your heart, out of your mouth, breathe into transformation. I'm breathing in transformation. I'm breathing out transformation. I'm breathing in transformation. I'm breathing out transformation. Breathing into your heart, out of your mouth. Into your heart, out of your mouth. And allow yourself just to breathe into this transformation, allowing it to happen. Transformation takes place when your mind is less active, when your mind is just allowing, bringing your witness and witness your mind as you're breathing in transformation, breathing out transformation. And allowing transformation just to be. How is my body feeling when I'm breathing into transformation? We're just allowing. There's no thought, there is no plan, there's no destination. I'm just allowing the breath to come in and come out. Mouth is open, into your heart, out of your mouth. Into your heart, out of your mouth. Transformation. I'm allowing transformation. I'm witnessing transformation. I have witnessed my own transformation my whole life. I am witnessing transformation right now. As you're taking air into your body through your mouth, and as you're releasing breath out, you're transforming the air that comes in and comes out. The air has completely different structure after it leaves your body. You have transformed that. Your cells in your body transforming all the time. There's an activity that happens in your body, and everything is transforming and changing. The food that you took into your mouth goes through a process and it's transforming when it's coming out of your mouth. Transformation takes place all the time in its own pace, in its own time. Transformation of life and death takes its own time. The only thing that slows it down, it's you being impatient with that. When you're starting to force your transformation, that's when the transformation slows down because you're forcing and the mind doesn't feel safe to surrender to consciousness. Transformation takes place. It needs to take its own time. So the body and the mind feels safe, transforming and changing. Breathe into this transformation. I am transforming and changing all the time. I am transforming and changing in my own time. I am transforming and changing all the time. I am transforming and changing all the time. Transformation takes time. And look at your life as this one transformation from moment to moment, hour to hour, day to day, month to month, year to year, lifetime to lifetime. There is no beginning, there is no end. Transformation is happening all the time. Into your heart, out of your mouth. Into your heart, out of your mouth. Now allow yourself to revisit any place in your life where you wish things were different, maybe a bit slower, maybe a bit faster, with anything that you don't agree in the way things are. And look at that place. Hold it in your breath as you're breathing in and breathing out. And just say to yourself, transformation takes time. And allowing whatever there is to be there as it is, without expecting it to be anything else. but exactly what it is right now. And be okay with that. That's what it is right now. And just witness and just be and just breathe into your heart, out of your mouth, without expectations, without any outcome, without solutions, without I should or I shouldn't. Just breathe into that and let it be. Let it transform, let it unfold at its own time. No rushing it, not pushing it, just being with it. And see if you can find love for it just as it is. And I love this outcome, the circumstances, whatever there is that you're breathing in, exactly as it is. Accept it fully and completely. Can I find place for that without changing it, without judging it, just being with it? Into your heart, out of your mouth. And relax even more. Into your heart, out of your mouth. Into your heart, out of your mouth. Transformation, evolution takes time. It has no end. It has no beginning. It is always. Into your heart, out of your mouth. Into your heart, out of your mouth. Slowly and gently start coming back to yourself, to today and now, to your physical body, to the surface that you're lying on. Bring movement to your toes and to your fingertips. Getting the circulation back, possibly bending your knees. Bringing your knees into your belly, moving them side to side. And turning or your right or on your left. Maybe moving into a child pose for a few breaths. And gently and slowly coming back up to seated, to vertical, finding your space. And this is the ultimate secret. The mind is a trained machine, but you are the witness, not the story. If this logic clicked for you today, it means your mind already shifting out of an old paradigm. To make sure you don't let the ego pull back into spiral tomorrow, hit the subscribe button right now. Join our conscious living community here on YouTube and lock in this frequency. Drop a like and help this logic reach someone else who's tired of suffering, and check out the deep dive sources in my website linked below. Stop fighting the story, just witness it, and I'll see you next time.